Howdy, folks. Grok the DuckFarmer here, and welcome to Grok's Used Blood Emporium, where we have all your blood needs. We've got your basic coagulated blood you can juggle with or hide in your neighbor's mailbox. We've got your congealed blood blocks for high bouncing, and we've got your basic blood block that's great for dense blood storage. And why should you have lots of blood on hand, you ask? Well, thank you for asking. Do you feel embarrassed when your vampire neighbors come over asking you to borrow a cup of blood? Do you have to turn them away just because your barrel of blood has gone dry? Well, feel embarrassed no more. Come on down to Grok's Used Blood Emporium, where we have all the blood you will ever need. Do you need red blood? We've got red blood. Do you need green Vulcan blood? Well, we can't help you with that, but we do have red blood here at Grok's Used Blood Emporium, located conveniently in 3 locations, right off Pillager Street, exit there on Highway 3, behind the Iron Golem Farm in the center of town, and now at Witch Hut Boulevard. Come get your blood. Okay, so that's silly. Anyway, I'm here on the FTOG Feed the Beast Stoneblock 3 server, and as you can see, I've got blood, because I've been playing with it a little bit. It's also been almost 2 weeks since I recorded the last episode. Not that I posted it 2 weeks ago, but it's been 2 weeks since I did that. So there's been some changes, like, you know, the blood here. Anyway, let me get off of this for right now. Here's what I did. Pig iron. Pig iron is something that is necessary for one of the singularities. And, you know, well, you cast it, you can melt it down, you alloy it, honey, blood, and iron. Well, there's another way. You can, let's come back here to the pig iron. You can also, I've got to find where the stupid recipe is. Make this, yes, the induction smelter. I can take clay and iron and coagulated blood. Well, clay and iron are 2 very simple things because there's EMC on those. No problem. Blood. Blood is the issue. Now, for that, you sit there and you cast it. But if we are going to make this blood, if we're going to melt it, you can melt it out of rotten flesh. That was the first thing I spotted. And I went, oh, that's pretty cool. That's going to give me 500 millibuckets of blood. Okay, I can live with that. And then I looked up here and I said, oh, all these heads, they give, it doesn't say right here, hold down the shift key, 500 millibuckets of blood. So the head gives me 10 times as much blood. Well, the zombie here has EMC, so I can do that. Or I could sit there and say, forget all that. What if I just spawn some pillagers here, and not pillagers, ravengers, because ravengers have 100 hit points. That means every tick they're giving off 500 millibuckets worth of blood times the multiple times they take damage. That's a lot. So why not? You know, if I'm being gruesome, I could, you know, take like llamas or sheep or something like that, but that's bad, and you wouldn't want to do that. But it's okay to be bad to a Ravager here, so I'm doing that. I also have here, let me turn that off. Holy cow, they're loud. I also have it set up so that I can run some automation here. Let's just ignore them because they're really super loud. Let's come in here real quick. Blood and shift click. Let's go ahead and do, you know, 2 sets. Start. I need 4 stacks of heads to get me 2 stacks of the blood. Okay, I can do that. Let's run over here real quick. And do we have heads in here? Yes, we still have some heads in here. So this has a recipe, you know, a stack of heads give me half a stack of congealed blood. I'm using the network receiver here. I think it's pulling from over here just because I don't want to run cables because I'm lazy that way. Anyway, this pushes into this alchemical chest. And when the blood is all made, then I've got 2 separate casting basins here. And I'm using this, I wanted to get it out as fast as possible. I could have, oh, that's on. I don't need this on. Yep. Yeah, so it's ignored. I did have just the regular spout, like you can see over here. This is good for a one-off sort of thing, but for the basins, I did have the regular spout, and it takes a while for this basin to fill up. But I don't want to take it a while. I want it to be fast. So that's why I've got this fluid pipe in here. It's doing 10 buckets worth every tick. So that's a lot. That's more than these things hold, which is fine. But I also have it set up to distribute nearest first. So it'll fill up this one. And if this is full and there's still more blood, then it'll do this one. Otherwise, if you did to round robin or something like that, you could be in a situation where both of these have some, but there's no other blood elsewhere. So this will fill up this one first, and then it'll spill over into that one. That's how it's designed to do. All right, this is just kind of annoying here. You go away, and you go away. That's better. Let's grab my grass back, just because, I don't need to be silly no more. I'm missing the grass. Oh, right there. There we go. Yeah, this was set up the same way here with the sear drain down low, and just a regular hopper to pull that in. This one I moved up just so it was more in line with the crafter I have here. And these two, once they're done, the hopper feeds it into the alchemical chest here. It's lots of space. And then it sucks it right out. I have it set up to only grab congealed blood. Speaking of which, here, let's dump those in there and it'll slowly pull them out. There's also these blood blocks. Now let's steal one of you back. This guy is 4 slime bloods, 4 coagulated bloods together. This, which is slightly transparent, is 9. And one of the things that's funky is if I speed this up with like my little temporal pouch, nothing in here except these congealed blocks. Let me go ahead and speed this guy up. Sometimes when I do this, let's speed it up once more. Yes, up at the top, it goes more than 1 bucket. These are making the 9 blocks. It's like it feeds in the 4 and then it overpours another 5 on top of it. So I really have been avoiding doing the overclocking just because I don't have to deal with the different type of blood block. I just want this congealed block. So that's what I've been doing. Time bad. Okay, so that's pretty much what's been going on here. I've got unlimited lava to feed for this, and because I've been using the Ravagers in there, I sometimes get drops from them which drop into here. So I have a little trash can that gets rid of all of these because that's what they drop. I haven't seen anything beyond that. Let's see, clay loot, the rare. So the others, nope, I haven't seen them. And because this needs to come from this chest into the filter, or into the smeltery, and then from the smeltery back into the trash can, I decided to go with a laser node. I hadn't done anything with laser nodes before, so I had to play with this. So let me show you what all I did. From the upside, I have an item card, and if I right-click it, here, let me hit my card holder and bring that in. Oh, and I also made the laser wrench and these card overclockers, and they all have EMC, so yay. Anyway, so if we go back to up, and this is what's in my card holder, is these items here, so yay. I put in an item card, and then I right-clicked it. Oh, hold shift to show settings. Oh, well, there you go. Now you can see what the settings are. But if you right-click it, I set it to extract from the item above it. And I put in 4 of these overclockers so that I could do a stack, and I said every 5 ticks. I could go all the way down to 1, but I wanted to get this fast into the system. So that's the up. And then north, which is into the smeltery, I've got the insert. So it just inserts everything it can. which should be those zombie heads. I also have an extract as fast as I can. And then if we go to east, I have an insert. Well, because this has a filter that only accepts these, they're whitelisted, the zombie heads can't go in here. So they don't get picked up, they don't get moved around. So that's how I've got this set up. Fairly simple, and it works great. It's already processed those 4 stacks of heads that quickly. So, well, I did help it a little bit with the overclocking here. You look out of sync. But anyway, this area used to be where I had the emerald columns, and that went really fast. Now, I did get some comments from people saying you didn't need to space them out. If I had made solid columns of those budding emeralds, it would have given me more surface area. And they're completely correct. Yes, I would have gotten more surface area, but it would have been twice the number of budding areas, which I'm thinking would produce twice as much tick, which isn't a problem when there's not many people on the server, or when nobody is on the server other than me. Not a problem. I did run it just slightly more than 3 hours, and I did 2 that night, and then turned off the watches of time, and then came back the next morning and turned them back on, and AFK'd around here, putzed around for another hour, and I had enough. So I went ahead and dismantled it because I don't need it anymore. I didn't want it to just run and run and run and run and run when other people were logging in. That's not nice on a server. So that's what I did. Up here, I initially had the Ravager spawner here right in the center, but there's light coming from the lava. If I hit my overlay, you can see there's a 14 light all the way down there, and that meant I wasn't getting really good spawning rates. So instead I went ahead and moved it over here. And you could ask, how did I get a Ravager spawner? Well, it wasn't. It was a skeleton spawner, but I had looted a Ravager egg. And if you take a spawn egg and you slap it onto a spawner, you get that item. I'm just using these create redstone links. I like them because they attach to the block rather than sticking out too much. So, and they're cheap and easy to make. So I've been using those. And then these vector plates, I initially had them with the red super top speed, and they were bouncing back and forth on here, so I changed those to the yellow medium speed, and that pushed them in very nicely, and then moved them over here. It's fast enough. It works really, really well. So it's just really noisy. So I'm going to keep this off for right now, just because they're so noisy. And to make this work, I have to be here within 16 blocks. So this is where I've been AFKing to generate the blood. Is there a faster way of making blood? Yes. Yes, there is. But I'm going with this one because it's fun, and I've got the Ravagers, and I can torture them. So I'm exercising my Grok's use blood Emporium capabilities here. Anyway, so this is working out super well. Let's show over here other stuff that I've been doing. Train tracks is another singularity, and to make that happen, I went ahead and took my hammer. What is this? The mechanical press. I took my mechanical press from over here and stuck it onto my belt conveyor belt, and then added a personal EMC that's spitting out iron nuggets. Did I change you here? Yeah, this is going nearest first. It really doesn't matter. It's so fast. It filled these things dried up. And then I have a recipe over here that takes an andesite slab, which has EMC, and shoves it here into my alchemical chest, which then gets picked up, and then iron ingot, but nugget, iron nugget, stamp, and I've got a track. And this goes really fast because it's maximum speed. It didn't take very long for that to generate because I just said, make it all. And it went. And I really would have liked to have been able to have my crafter stick right next to the funnel and have the funnel take the various andesite slabs, but it doesn't. I had to put a chest here to make that work. But this is off because I have enough of the tracks to make my singularity. Now, this over here, I have some crushed deep slate here, because one of the things you can get from this is raw uraninite. And some uranium. I didn't care about the uranium, but an 8% chance is not much. So I've made quite a lot. There's 200,000 of these crushed deep slate in here, and I got them pretty easily. Oh, it's actually on the wrong spot. It should be one closer. It doesn't matter. This is off because I've got enough. Here's what I would do. I would take my chest. I'd come over here to where I've got these 4 hopper hawks, place it down here, and then I would do 4 64 block stacks of triple compressed deep slate. And then I would just pull out my B button. I'd pull out my diamond hammer, and I'd crush all 4 of those, and these hopper hawks would suck them all up, stick them right into the drawer. And I would do that 2 or 3 times just to fill this up with a huge amount of crushed deep slate. Then I'd put it in that block position, and it would suck it up into here, and then this would go through and make me that bit. There's another way of getting this uraninite, and I did it this way with the digital miner. I came in here, got my ender chest and a dimensional cell for power. I've got this is the regular uraninite core, and there's the regular and there's the dense. Likewise, there's the deep slate uraninite for regular and dense. And I found those. If I go to the map, let's exit out of here. If I go to the map, oh, that's where I was killing the guy spear. If I come over here. Oh, my map is all messed up because I updated the pack. There's a section of 2 chunks that I mined out with my builder's wand. With my RF Tools builder, and that got me the 3 types of regular and deep slate uraninite. And then I went through here and I mined. I made right on the borders of a. Yeah, I was gonna say, do I want to really show this? It's a shame that it's out of sync. Anyway, I mined. If I go back a little bit, I set it out and mined, and that does a 2x2 chunk area max. So then I went 4 chunks up and mined out another 2x2, and then 4 chunks up and mined out another 2x2 chunk, and just went up and up and up and up and up until this curve. I hit the curve. I went over, did a bit. I ended up with 3 rows of these mining sessions to get the uraninite that I needed. And then it doesn't matter anymore, because now with the pack updated, one way of getting this is to take uranium ingots, which has EMC, and with a little bit of power you can turn it into uraninite. Well, it doesn't matter. I already had all the uraninite I needed for that, but this was not available before the pack updated. So let's come over here. Out of the way. So if we come over to here, you can see some of the stuff. Here's uraninite. I've got a bunch of just regular raw stuff. I've also got some that are processed. Here's where some of the pores were the most. They came into here, and I would grab all the ores. Or here, let me grab one of these. Let me grab a few of these. I would come over to this setup. Oh, you like all the new power updates? Because I was making bazillions of these nitro, I needed a faster power setup, so I went ahead and made the ultimate universal cables from Mechanism, which has EMC. Yay! And I upgraded all my energizing rods to the top tier nitros, so they go super, super fast. Anyway, I would come in here and I'd dump in all the stuff I wanted to process, and it just went that fast through it all. In fact, if let's go like this, 50k blood at this point, which is nice. If I wanted some nitro crystals, let's come into here, nitro. You can see I've got my full stack of singularities. But if I wanted to make 2 sets, and you can see it's going to make 2 sets of these. It's going to make the blazing crystal and then the next batch. Start. I run over here. There's a blazing crystal. There's done. blazing crystal, done. It's like one zap. It's super fast because of all these lasers in place. So that it didn't take me long. Well, it it didn't take long to actually do this, but it took longer to have enough power because this ate up the power. All right, so blood's done there. Stuff so those emeralds are done. Over here is how I've been feeding up my singularities into, or creating my singularities with the compressor. Right now, it is sucking in the infused ender pearls, which has EMC. I generated enough of them over there. I'm not sure if I did this before or after the pack update, because the pack update went ahead and dropped the price of the items in the singularities on every one except for the flux block. All the rest of them, it went up, but everything else went down. And I think the flux block, because it went from not having EMC to having EMC. So that sped things up there. So right now, this is doing 2,000 singularity. If I look at my list, where is it hiding? It used to be 6,000. So there's a lot of things have gone down. Doesn't matter. I don't care. This is done. That's not been done yet. That's the tracks have not been done yet. But let's take a look here. Singularities. It helps if I have my hands on the right keys. So these are the singularities that I've done up to this point. So balloons are done. The emerald clusters, we did that earlier. Enderium block, all I need to do is make it, and then it had an EMC. Infused ender pearl, that's what's going on right now. Magenta matter, that's just pure EMC. Nether star, EMC. Nitro crystals, those I had to generate, but with all the power in place, that was fine. Palette and brush, I could generate them from ENC, but I couldn't make them individually from ENC, if that makes sense. That took a while to craft up. Source gems, I was running that in the other building, and that eventually gave me all the source gems I need, so I turned that off, and that's done. Uranite, I actually have pushed that through, so I've got all those, and the XP jelly babies. So these are all done, except for the infused ender pearls, which are going. So that leaves me these ones here to do. So we talked about the uranite, we talked about the train track, we talked about the infused ender pearl. Oh, mob soul. I've got enough mob souls, I just haven't pushed them through yet. So that one is done. That's out of this list. Mana steel. Let's go talk. Oh, induction smelter. I'm going to be making the pig blood once I have enough. I'm going to run it through an induction smelter, which I think I can make right now. Let's see. Do I have all the bits? I do. Okay, induction smelter. That completed the quest for me. I'll stick that. Oh, that's got EMC. Everything that has EMC, I teach it. So let's go ahead and dump that back into the system. I'll go ahead and use that. When I was processing the creosote, I was using a machine that had the fastest overclockers and upgrades on it. I'll do the same thing here, so it goes as fast as possible. But I want to get all the blood first, and if my calculations are correct, I need something like 100,000 blood, something like that. So I'm getting there. I'm about halfway through with the blood. So getting there. Let's see. Mana steel. Let's go take a look at automating mana steel. Since I've got my Botania area up there, let's go there. These are so much fun. All right, so I have set up some automation here. And again, I'm just not running any sort of cables anywhere because I'm super lazy with that. This is my setup for doing, well, if we look at the recipe, these are all my mana stuffs. My mana steel ingot, my mana diamond, and my mana pearl, which I need to make terra steel. But really all we need for the singularity is the mana steel ingots. And I need about 117,000 of them. So when I'm ready, I'll start the recipe on that. Max overclockers here. So here's how I have it set up. I've got a network receiver to hook it into the system. You could connect this however you want, doesn't matter. Then I have a crafter that is pushing into an open crate from Botania because it drops straight down. Now I looked at some other options, and everything that I found, there's the vanilla dropper, but you need something to give a redstone tick. And I didn't really want yet something else to tick. So open crate, as fast as you shove things into it, it drops. And the crafter can drop right into an open crate. So simplicity itself. And then over here, I have a chest and a advanced item collector, which I set to 1, and I've got the range visible. And I said I want to whitelist the outputs. So I'm going to turn this range off so it stops showing it anymore. You can still see it there when you mouse over it. Anyway, it's just a 3x3x3 grid, and that will handle that just fine. And then up here, I've got an importer that will take the stuff from the alchemical chest and put it back into the crafter, so into the network. I don't need anything in here because the only things that will go into here from the item collector are those 3 mana pieces. So that's me done as far as the mana steel collection. I just need to run the recipe that will make my 117,000. And I've got plenty of mana here. It'll just generate. Now, one of the questions I was commenting and I was going, it would be more interested in my opinion, for there to be a terasteel singularity. Not as much as the mana steel, because it takes a lot more effort. But this is my automation setup for the terasteel. Now down here, when there are the 3 items for the recipe in place, this will output a signal, and that's wrong. This is not. There we go. That should be the way it works. This is the receiver, that's the transmitter. So when it outputs a signal saying there's crafting items running in here, it sends a signal which will set this to get ready to pulse the next. And I have this set to redstone pulse inserts next set, because you don't want, well, this needs a single mana steel ingot, a single mana pearl, and a single mana diamond. And if you have more or anything else than that, those 3 together, this won't work. So this is why this is set to pulse. Now I've got the network receiver up above just because I wanted to keep this open crate at the same height over. You can see, it's the same height as this over here. Now I can't input directly into the open crate those mana items, which is really frustrating. It would make this so much easier. It would just be a duplicate of this, but I can't. I have to use the crafter to insert those mana items into the chest. And if we look at this, I have it set up to blacklist terasteel. Anything else will just automatically get fed from the crate or the chest into the open crate and dropped. And I've got the highest upgrade here because I want them to spit through as fast as possible. No slowdown. And then down here, the item collector is set to whitelist the terasteel. And I'm going to turn off the range so it stops being so annoying. And that's as limited as possible. It's a 3x3x3, just like this over here. This will pick up the terasteel, which will come into here. And I want to fly. Thank you. That was bonking me on the head. I have an importer here, which is set to whitelist the terasteel. And you want to make sure that you whitelist it. Otherwise, this won't work. So if we come over here and take a quick look, let's make some terasteel. And I've not really had much need in the pack for terasteel, but let's make 4 real quick. And I've got enough for all of these. That's just fine. So it just dropped those. There's another set. Drop those. There you go. 4 terasteel, super fast, because I have a huge battery array of mana pools underneath here. And it works great. Let's start as far as... Yes, I do have a chest downstairs, a storage crate that has the mana steel. So let's go ahead and make... let's make 50,000 just to begin with. I'm sure this is going to outstrip my... That's really fast. That's dropping so much iron so fast, but I'm not seeing any remaining. Let's look at the mana steel. Oh, I think I see a problem here. Yes, this doesn't have any speed upgrades. No speed upgrades. Do you have speed upgrades? No. I'm going to steal the speed upgrades here and put them into the importer. Still not catching up. Okay, I need to steal a stack upgrade. So that's something that you definitely, if you're going to make this many, we need a stack upgrade. And where do I have one of those? I have one of those down here. This has a stack upgrade in it, but I'm not actually doing that right now. So, oh, I could open hand. Whee! Okay, let's get a stack upgrade here. Not you, but yes, you. This can keep up. That's a lot of mana steal. We're really going on fast here. Let's grab some of this. We'll help the setup here. Those Kekmerses are really noisy right now. Alright, let's grab another. Okay, so with the stack upgrade and the 3 speeds, this can keep up. I'm surprised. That is really fast. Mana steal. Yeah, I'm already up to 5k. That's really fast. I'm sure I'm going to lose my mana pool storage pretty fast. This is fast with the Kekmers. It's not that fast. Anyway, so we've done that. We've done that. That's done. Corrupted soul or corrupted ingot. Let's take a look at that. Let's jump over here. Thump. Because this is another item that is... Nope. It's right here. This is another item that is just EMC. So let me grab soul sand from there. Turn on my washing. Toss you in there. And wait for this to come out. At some point. Eventually. There we go. The vile dust. So let's turn that off. Go back over here. I regret having the gates over there for decoration because that catches me at times. Let's take you and learn. And then I'm going to put you here into the system so I can make more because I need to make this corrupted ingot. And you can see the recipe there. Regular iron, EMC, and these vile dust, well, that's EMC, and corrupted essence. Well, I can make that. Those are all EMC items. Let's go ahead and drop that downstairs. And we need a new section here. Now I can make the corrupted ingot, which has EMC, but I need to make at least one. And that can all go away. And I can teach that to the system. So now I can make all the stuff I need for the corrupted ingot singularity. And it's 5,000 each. So I need to produce quite a lot. But I can set up a recipe that will just make these and throw them in a slot over here someplace. Probably train tracks, because I'm not actually using those. Yep, we're up to 11. It's still going. I think I may still have mana. This is really going. It's working out really fast. So looking at the list, this one's done. I'm going to take that off of the list because I've got that one done. So I need to fiddle with making the processing tier 2 singularities, the mob filter pet, which I think it has EMC. Mana Steel is being produced, so I'm going to remove that. Mob Soul I've got, I can remove that. Flux Block, the Node Overclocker, which I think has EMC. Polonium, that's going to need a lot of stuff, and I still haven't figured out a good way to make that happen yet. Pig Iron, I'm going to be doing that, so that goes away. Ethereal Slate, I need to get into Blood Magic. And Wall Singularity, I need to do the compact what's-its for that. So, I've got a lot of the Singularity stuff done or craftable, but since I only just have the one compressor, again, because I'm not in a super speedy rush to rip through all of this, I'm okay with having just this one compressor doing all the work. Because Wrong key. Because I am, going to be AFKing there to get blood and AFKing doing other things. Because, that's just kind of how I roll. I don't have to do it super, super fast. But it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. Anyway, this has been Grok the Duck Farmer here on the FTOG Feed the Beast Stoneblock 3 server. And you can have fun on here too, because the server's still open. And I'm having fun. And thanks for watching.